Do you want the facts? Can you handle the facts? Are you over the beliefs? Are you tired of the lies? Have you uncovered what religion really is? Do you identify as an Alkebulan kidnapped? If so, then welcome to The Verdict, where we stand on facts over beliefs. Court is in session. Do you want the
Court is in session. It's your brother man from the motherland coming to you guys live from the NY, back with another one of that ROD pod. For those that don't know who I am him, Junes, the MBIC. And again, you know, I represent that ROD. Last but not least, I want to give a shout out to all you guys for your continuous support, leaving all that feedback, the positive, the negative. All things is respected and needed because it allows me to do what I do best. And that is to continue keeping my foot on you heathens, you he-gros in the newly installed Heathen Nice Snakes. Round of applause for that. I know some of you guys can't hear my applause, so let me issue my apology if I could play. Let me see if you guys can hear the round of applause. All right, much better, much better, much better. But anyway, as you guys can see, man, I didn't put the judge robe on today. I decided to just keep it neutral, mainly because today is just a beautiful day. And I want to go through this broadcast and then get an opportunity to enjoy outside. You know what I'm saying? It's nice, it's beautiful. And for those that didn't get a chance to go outside, go outside. You know, we no longer, observing the 7th day. We going to go outside and we going to enjoy this beautiful weather. We're going to connect with Mother Nature. We're going to open ourselves up to the universe and allow the universe to do what it do best. You heard? But on today's broadcast, I wanted to talk to you guys about the law. Now, some of you guys know that the law that's been given unto us by Moses himself, is literally the foundation of most religions here in America. But how about if I told you that the law of Moses is only a copy and paste from the Hammurabi Code, which is a law book, a laws that was in Babylon hundreds of years or even thousands of years before Moses, the Exodus, the mountains, the laws. The land of Babylon had these laws. Now, I decided to give you guys a slide. You know we're going to do a slide. I decided to give you guys a slide, mainly because the slide is literally what's going to be used to set us free. Let me see if I can put myself there. There we go. Okay. So the slide is what we're going to use to set ourselves free. Give me a second while I fix it up. You know, we got to let the ROD logo show. You know what I'm saying? There we go. Bring this down just a little bit. Okay. All right. I hope you guys can see me at the bottom right here. But anyway, this is the Hammurabi Code and the Mosaic Law. We're gonna go through these laws and see if there's comparison. And then we're gonna ask the question if the law that was given unto Moses was literally given unto Moses, or was it just another copy and paste? Let us continue. Let's go. So let me read it off before we proceed, right? Because comparative analysts of the Hammurabi Code and the Mosaic Law. This presentation examines the two foundational legal systems of ancient worlds: the Hammurabi Code from Babylon 1792 to 1750 BCE, and the Mosaic Law from the Torah, which is from 1200 BC to 1400 BC. Right, BCE, excuse me. We'll explore the similarities, distinctive features, and lasting influence on the legal tradition across civilization. Okay, so by analyzing these early attempts at the codifix law, we gain value insights into how ancient societies approach justice, moralities, and social orders, principles that continue to resonate in modern legal systems today. Yes, you know no other than you see the logo. Oh, it's on this side. Sorry, my bad. It's on this side. It's supposed to be on this side because I wanted it by the heart, but you know, beggars can't be choosers, right? So let's start off with the introduction, people. Introduction. The Hammurabi Code. The Hammurabi, created by the Babylonian king Hammurabi around 1750 BCE. This legal framework established a structured system based on the state governance and the reputative justice. The codes, 282 laws, the codes, 282 laws was inscribed on a stone stele then placed in public view. This legal system emphasized the authority of the state and the king as the ultimate arbitrator of justice, with laws addressing everything from trade to family matters. Now, before I even, we'll get back. We'll get back. We're gonna come back to every single video here. Okay, let me move myself down some more. Sheesh, I gotta go down even more. That's crazy. The Mosaic Law, attributed to Moses and dating to approximately 1200 to 1400 BC. These laws of record recorded in the Torah, first 5 books of the Bible. Unlike the Hammurabi secular approach, the Mosaic Law derives its authority from the divine commandments. The Torah presents these laws as a direct revelation from God at the Mount Sinai, creating a moral framework that shapes the Israelite society and religious practices for millennia to come. Okay, let's go. The comparisons. Let's break down these comparisons, guys. These comparisons. Retributions. Here comes the Hammurabi Code. If a man destroy the eyes of another man, they shall destroy his eye. That's Law 196. Exodus 21, verse 24. An eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth. Murder. Death penalty for intentional murder. Whosoever shed the blood of a man, by man shall his blood be shed. Thief. Hand amputation for repeated offenders. Must return stolen goods and pay restitution, and also can be put to death. Okay? Family authority. Son who strikes father shall have their hands cut off. A rebellious son shall be put to death. Okay? Deuteronomy 21, 18 to 21. Okay? These are just minor things. I'm putting these things out there so you guys can go do some homework, so you guys can get a better understanding. Let us continue. The key difference between the legal system. Okay? Here comes a divine versus royal command, right? The divine and royal command. Now, if you really want to know the answer, matter of fact, we'll save that. We'll save that. Check out the piece, though. Check out the piece, man. R-O-D, man. R-O-D, man. R-O-D. R-O-D. You know what I'm saying? We outside with it, man. We outside with it. We outside. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to show you guys that we be working. You heard? Social justice, class-based versus egalitarian. Egalitarian approach. Excuse me. I've been up since 3 o'clock this morning. I'm sorry. The legal scope, practical governance versus moral framework. The Hammurabi Code operate as a king-imposed system where punishment varies based on social class. What that sound like? A noble man who injured another noble man face harsh penalties than one who injures a commoner. All right, establish a clear society heredity with the legal framework. Right. Conversely, the Mosaic law emphasized that all Israelites are equal before God's law, regardless of wealth or status. Let me remove myself again. It also extends beyond mere legal transactions to include moral obligations like charity to the poor, dietary restrictions, ritual purity, areas largely absent from Hammurabi's more programmatic, status. Okay? Put myself back down here. We're gonna continue. Don't worry. Don't worry. We're gonna have a good conversation. I promise you. The historical impact and legacies, ancient influence. The Hammurabi Code established precedents for the Mesopotamian legal traditions, while the Mosaic law formed the foundation of the Jewish social and religious life. Both demonstrated early commitment to written law rather than arbitrary rule. Classical era. Greek and Roman legal system incorporated principles from both. Listen carefully, people. Listen carefully, people. Greek and Roman legal systems incorporated principles from both traditions, particularly the concept of proportional justice. The Romans 12 tablets echoed similar structures of the what? Codified public law. Okay, medieval. The Mosaic law profoundly influenced Christians' canon law and Islamic Sharia laws. The Hammurabi emphasized on writing statutes and public accessibility of laws shaped European legal development. Modern era. Contemporary, I listen, you know what it is. Legal practices of due process, witness evidence, and the rule of law can trace perpetual origin to these ancient codes, demonstrating their enduring relevance. Okay? We're gonna knock this, we're gonna finish. We're gonna finish right here. Conclusion. Enduring legal legacies. Sharing principles of justice. Despite their difference, both codes establish foundational concepts of proportional punishment, witness testimony, and written status that would influence legal thinking for the millennia to come. Historical significance. These ancient legal systems provide invaluable windows into their respective civilization, revivaling social structures, cultural values, and approaching to maintain order that help us understand the developments of human society. The studies of these codes continue to inform our understanding of legal history and the evolution of the justice system, demonstrating how ancient societies grapple with many of the same fundamental questions that the modern legal system address today. Now that we got this out the way, let's have our conversation. Now, damn. Give me a second. TT, come here for a second. Oh, forget it. I got it. Let me put this out so you guys can see. Now, this book that I have in my hands, right here, this book that I have in my hands this is where the wisdom of Solomon, and the book of Proverbs come from? This book right here. I want to show you something. Is it page 19? I'm gonna show you guys something. I want to show you guys something, and I meant to highlight it, but the reason why I didn't highlight it is because I didn't want to devalue the book. Oh, here it is. This is page 18. Listen to as I read this to you guys. This is it's page 18. The instructions of the fat Howotep. The fat Hotep, excuse me. It says, such are the loving songs, full of the burning utterance of desire. The pathetic and the even bitter degrees, whose singers have seen all the works that are done under the sun, and found all to be vanity and vexations of spirits. Now, what is a verse out of the Biblos doing in the Egyptian books? There's a lot more. There's plenty more. But I just when I seen that, I said, "Oh, yeah, this is the one I want to highlight," because a lot of us like to read, the book of Ecclesiasticus. And when I seen vanities and vexations of spirits, I said, since when the Egyptians were speaking like this? And then I remembered that the entire religion that you call Christianity is literally a copy and paste. The entire Biblos is literally a copy and paste, a creative version. 16 best writers literally compiled together to put the biggest story ever written. They created a story. Again, a story, not facts. It's a story. The greatest story ever told is what they call the Biblos. The greatest story ever told. Now, the book of Proverbs, Psalms, and Ecclesiastes, a matter of fact, hold on. Hold on. I'll show you another one, just in case you guys thinking that I'm lying. Hold on. Because I seen it earlier today too. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Let me pull this up for you guys. Hold on. Hold on. Look, it's even telling you, showing you right here. It says, but as touching the books here translated, the instructions of the Pharaoh Hotep and of the Kigi Gemini, they possess apart they possess apart from the curious nature of their contents a feature of the greatest interest and a adequate claim on the notice of all persons interested in the literature and its history. For it's the dating and ascriptions in them be accepted as trustworthy. There is no reason why we should not be so accepted. They was composed about 4,000 years before Christ and 3,500 years and 50 years before Christ respectively. And the significance of these remote dates is that they are the oldest book in the world. Now, we're talking about this book right here, right? But I really wanted you to see where they added, look, I'm gonna read this, and then you guys are gonna have to just, you guys are just gonna have to do your homework. But listen, it says this is what made me want to look into it. I was like, oh yeah, I gotta definitely give these guys this understanding of where these religions is the origin of it, right? It says the Babylonians are doubtless exercising their literally talents, but they will leave nothing worthy the name of a book to fall prostrate of 54 century hence. 13 centuries shall pass before Hammurabi, king of Babylon, draft a code of laws that will be found at that time. Only after 2,000 years shall Moses write on the origin of things and the Vedas be arranged in their present form. It will be 2,500 years before the great king of Jerusalem will set in order many proverbs and write books so much resembling in the form and style that of the fat Hotep. Before the source and the summit of European literature will write his world epics. For these spaces of years between Solomon and ourselves, great though it seems, is not so great as that between Solomon and Hotep. The numbers of extent text of the class to which the subjoined immediately belong is not large in proportion to the rest of Egyptian MSSS. Now, how did I get access to this book? How did I even know about this book right here? So when you start going down the holes, that was nasty work, and you start looking for the facts, and you no longer operating in the state of belief. You're just focused. You're not going into these studies and these understandings with a set mind. You go in there open minded. You go in there just trying to be a child learning information, right? So a brother was giving a lecture. And the man said, "You guys don't even know where the book of Proverbs and et cetera, come from." And don't get it twisted. When I heard that, I thought it was pure madness. I said, "What this guy talking about, man? Talking ruba." But then when I went to go looking into it, not only was this man speaking facts, but there's a bigger version to this. Look, get closer. There's a bigger version to this. Not only is there a bigger version, but the bigger they are in pages, the more you're going to spend. These things, I think the minimum is probably like 15, and I think the maximum is probably like 5 bands. Yeah. These people know exactly where your origin of religion comes from. Now, like I told you guys before, I'm not an Egyptologist. I'm not into the Egyptian studies at the moment, even though I know just being an vocabulary is important that we know such history, right? But I'm not into this. And when I started looking into these writings, I started to understand and started to see that these writings is literally just a copy and paste. And when you look at the Hammurabi code, and then you look at the Mosaic law, excuse me, and then you look at the 48 laws of Ma'at. So you look into all these things, you come to the realization that these people literally just created their own story. Now, before you guys jump the gun and make it seem like I'm talking crazy, I just want you to think logical now. Just think logical. from the minute of slavery till now, for all the times we call on God, whether it's Jesus, Yahweh, Yahushua, Yeshaya, all of these, as much as we have invested ourselves into this so-called power, where has it taken us? Have we as a nation of people elevated to newer heights? Or did we just reach the cap and we staying at this cap and nothing is bringing us back? Think about that. Think about that, guys. We're losing ourselves, people. We're losing ourselves. And I wanted to put up this video. Hold on. Let me get it. Let me get this video. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Black Girl Magic. What it look like, sis? Hold on. Let me pull up this video so you guys can get a better understanding of what I be talking about. Now, a lot of you guys know that I've been making videos, and even in my videos, my joints seems to be um my audio seems to be jacking up in everything that I be posting. So a lot of videos that I have posted in the last week, I had to take them down because it was very, very distorted and it sounded terrible. So I had to take it down. So I want to issue my apologies behind that. But let me put this up right here. Now, I've been telling you guys this for approximately 5, 6, let's just say 7 months about this right here. About Charles Colcock Jones. Wild nasty. But this man, Charles Jones, is the man that reconstructed the black man into accepting not only the Biblos, but also Christianity, which proves that when we came off the shores of the ships, we had no recollection or understanding of who Jesus was. We didn't know nothing of this, which proved that not only did we not know who Jesus was, that the story that they brought to us, the book, had absolutely no connection. That the elders of old will justify, their ancestors will justify that these lands and these areas that you guys are claiming to be seen in the Biblos and in the land of El Kebulan, in that land where Mandem never spoke English until colonialism, is now showing areas in Africa that you can find in the Bible. And you guys believe that this joint is really ours. But like I said before, nobody can prove it. Some of these dudes be showing locations. Listen, if I'm lying, I'm flying. I don't even want to do it. But some of these dudes be showing locations and it don't even be the locations. It be a church, a temple, a block that they literally named after themselves because they are the missionaries, the mercenaries. We don't speak English. Ele Sabadani, right? Right? What we said, this is for the Sabbath keepers, never kept the Sabbath, bro. I know. I've spoken to the people. The commandment keepers came with Albert Christian. Hold on, let me see if I can pull this guy up. And ever since I bought this thing up, you have never seen this man ever again. Maybe if I put Hebrew Israelite. Look, never to see him again. Let me share my screen because I want you guys to see this because you guys be thinking I be capping. Never to be seen again. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Let me make sure all these things is down. Let me share my screen. Hold on. Share my screen. Let's go. Look at this. Why is it not sharing my screen? All right. You're not going to go through that. Watch this. Let me share my screen. I've been saying that like 50 trillion times. Look at this. Look at this, people. Aber Christian. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. They taking all that nonsense down. Let me see. I'm telling you guys this right now. Hold on. Here we go. You want in and dog, baby. Come on now. There we go. You see them? These are the creators. Frank Cherry, William S. Crowdy. Let me see. Because William S. Crowdy is the one who taught Aber Christian. Let's see if I can find Aber Christian here. Nope. 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 But as you can see, so you guys, for those that thinking that I be capping and I be talking crazy, as you can see, he settled in Oklahoma. After his retirement from the railroad, he became a deacon in the local Baptist church and a active member of the Prince Hall branch of Freemason. Yeah, let's continue. I know. Oh, look, there we go. Look. In 1903, look, I'm reading it for you right here. Listen, in 1903, he bought 40 acres of land in Suffolk, Virginia, calling it Canaan's land. More land was subsequently purchased by Bishop William H. Plummer, and this is now the international headquarters of the demonstration. Look, listen carefully. In 1905, he sent missionaries to where? To where? To where? Sent missionaries to where? Why does William S. Crowley sending missionaries to South Africa? Why South Africa? Could it possibly be that these people was being prepped and was being fed a story in preparations for what we see today? Out of everywhere to go in Africa, South Africa in the 1900s, what was going on there? I'll tell you what was going on. It was reconstruction going on. Mentally, physically, spiritually, is reconstruction. Okay? And by 1906, he declared Chief Joseph W. Crowdy, Bishop William H. Plummer, and Elder Calvin S. Skinner as future leaders of his congregation. And the creators don't even allow him this. Now, listen carefully, people. This is a man that's keeping the commandments. Look how old he lives. Age 60. How many of us is keeping the commandments and seeing the upper room? 60? God-fearing messenger of God, and the ancestors took you out of, and your God, your Yahweh, Yahushua, your hoo-hoos and the cuckoos took you out of the age 60? 60? 60 is kind of young, people. But as you can see, ever since I brought out the William S. Crowdy, you see they took it down. I told you this, man. I told you this was gonna happen. Now you know who's speaking on facts and who's standing on beliefs. And you guys can go into my old videos and see the origin of the Hebrew, and you're gonna see Albert Christian. They won't even put up a picture of this man. Albert Chris. Then let's see. Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Who is this guy? Why can I not see Albert Christian? Huh, people? Why aren't they allowing us to see Albert Christian? Let me see if I write the whole thing. Look. Oh. They won't let me see Albert Christian. But since we are here, guys, why not see what they got to say of the history of the Jews in South Africa? Listen, it says South African Jews, whether by culture, ethnicity, or religion, form the 12th largest Jewish community in the world and the largest on the African continent. As of 2020, the Kaplan Center at the University of Cape Town estimate that 52,300 Jews in the country. The South African Jewish Brothers and these deputies estimate that a figure is closer to 75,000. Now, before you black Hebrews or Bantus, before you get out your behind and jump the gun, this is not just spoken of the black Jews. They're talking about all Jews, mainly the white. And I can see it because, look, I'm watching it right now. Look, the history of the Jews in South Africa began during the period of the Portuguese. King Alfonso, remember, converted the whole Congolese. Pay attention, people. This is right in front of you. This is, look, we doing this on real time right now. The period of the Portuguese. This is 1500s. This is when King Alfonso converted the entire Congo into this ideology. Okay? The Portuguese exploitations in the early modern era, though a prominent presence was not established until listen carefully, people. This is not me saying this. This is what you're getting live and direct. It says, throughout a permanent presence, though a permanent presence was not established until the beginning of the Dutch colonialism, excuse me, in the region during the period of British colonial rule in the 19th century. The Jewish South African community expanded greatly in part to thanks to the what? Encouragement from who? From Britain. But you know, King James was the black man, though. You know what I'm saying? He wrote the Bible to preserve the black people, though. But yet Britain is bringing them here to your land. Again, proof that this is the English people changing areas in Africa. They'll just walk. Just imagine walking by, people. Just imagine walking by. Doop, 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 doop. And I'm just killing shit, and I'm just walking by. Doop, 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 and I see a cave, and I say, you know what? I say, yo, black girl. Yo, black girl magic, check this out. We can make this cave right here fit the story in this book that we wrote them. Yeah, we should do that. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. And then they do that. And then, 400, 500, 600, 200. How many years it took them? All it takes is 10 years, 15 years for a new generation of people. Albert Christian came to South Africa in 1905, around the same time these people was coming. In the 19th century, the Jewish Southern African community expanded greatly, in part thanks to the encouragement from Britain. From 1880 to 1914, the Jewish population in South Africa grew from 4,000 to over 40,000. Now remember, Albert Christian came there in the 1900s. By 1914, Are you guys getting the drift now? You still iffy, still confused, still don't know that these people are the ones that's literally creating this for you? Cool. Let us continue. It says to 40,000. It says South African Jews have played an important role in what? Promoting diplomatic and military relations between Israel and South Africa. So this lets you know that this is not talking about you, Bantu. This is not talking about you, Bantu. This was always about them. They wanted that land. And the only way they can get that land, they needed help. Listen carefully. They needed help from Great Britain. They needed help from America. They needed help from the Freemasons. They needed help from Albert Christian. No better way to promote something than your own. You know that. When you see the McDonald's commercial, you feel better when you see a black man biting through that burger than you see a euro, right? It's all predictive programming. Like the Bible says, right? There's nothing new under the sun. Let us continue. It don't stop. No. Pay attention. South Africa's Jewish community peaked in the 1970s with the established 120,000 Jews living in the country. The Soweto uprising in 1976 and racial tensions led to an increase in Jewish immigrations. Since the end of the apartheid, Jews have continued to immigrate mostly to developed countries in the English-speaking world, such as the United States, Canada, the United Kingdom, Australia, New Zealand, as well as a significant number immigrating to Israel. As of 2021, it is established. Listen carefully, El Kebulans, because since you niggas don't want to wake up, let these people tell it for you. It says it is estimated that 92% of the Jewish population on the African continent is concentrated in South Africa, nigga. 92%. 92% is in your land. And they paid for our Christian, true word, to go over there and bring forth this bad news. And this news was going to do what? Convert the people to follow their ideologies, call on their gods. And we are disrespecting our ancestors by associating Sunnini, not Nini, with the foolish writings of these heathens. There's nothing alkebulant coming out of that book other than the whipping that these niggas said they was gonna do to you because you're not a child of their God. You're not. And you need to wake up and realize that you are not their child. 92%. And ever since we've been doing that, you see, you see how Alkebulan is getting weaker by the day, soft by the night. Yeah. When are you gonna realize that your strength comes from the ancestors? Your strength comes from the universe. Your strength comes from the creators. The story of the creators can only, and I repeat, only be told by El Kebulan. The story of your creators can only be told by El Kebulan. Anything outside of that is plagiarized, contaminated feces full of shit and is not legit. And if it's not legit, we must acquit. It's over. Don't listen to me. These things is right in your face. 92% of the population. That means only 8% of you Bantus running around, thinking that you Hebrews. It's only 8% of you guys. Why haven't their ancestors allow you guys to match this number? At least be at 65. Why haven't it? Sunini never left the land. Modimo never left the land. Those names of the creators never left the name, never left the land. So how do we remain at the bottom, knowing that these people gave us something that's ineffective? We know this. We know this. Portuguese history, Portuguese exploitation. The first Jews involved in the history of South Africa was explorers, conquistadors, and the astronauts, whatever the astronauts, the niggas that be touching rocks and all that, who were employed by the Portuguese crown. Oh, the king and queen. These men were employed by the attempts by the Portugal to discover a sea route to the Indian subcontinent. That's a lie. They knew exactly where they was going. And if you're thinking that I'm lying, go look at the diaries of Marco Polo. Marco Polo went east. Went east and made a name for himself. Christopher Columbus said, we're going south. We going west. These Portuguese niggas said, we're going south. You see where Spain is at? Come straight into the west of Africa. It's strictly down. All you got to do is go down. But when you see this, just know that they put this there just to mislead you, misguide you, and corrupt your mind. Say, oh, they found America by accident. They end up in Africa by accident. They didn't mean to be there and do the wrong. They was there by accident. Get the f out of here. We don't want to hear that. All lies. Right? It says, Jewish conquistadors in Portugal, many of whom were members of the Portuguese upper class, assisted explorers Bartolomeu Diaz and the Vasco da Gama, who settled around the Cape of Good Hope to India in 1488 to 1497. Again, these are lies. These people was already breaking bread with us. They was already in our space. Remember, if you want to go, if you think of what I'm saying is not true, remember who civilized Spain. Wasn't it the Moors? Isn't that black people? So that means interaction amongst niggers was already happening over there, right? So now they're telling you that they was just traveling, looking, and lies. They was already passing through. Remember, before the Portuguese came, we was already breaking bread with the tallywhackers. Okay, okay. Look, let's pay attention. Don't listen to me. These things is all here for you to do your homework, and you can do it. You can go deeper if you want to. In 1652, in the deeper, you gotta go to the library because they taking a lot of these things off the internet. It says in 1652, the Dutch East Indian Company established a colonial settlement at the Cape of Goods under the direction of Juan van Rebbebeck. Among the settlers, let's see how he looks. Look at this ugly ass nigga. Among the settlers in the colonies were a number of non-practicing Jews who lived in Cape Town. The first record of Jews living in a colony were a baptism recorded of 2 Jewish settlers living in Western Cape Town on Christmas Day. This is 1669. Despite this, Jewish immigration in the colony remained small in numbers due to the VOC required all its employees and settlers to be Protestant. In 1803, not Protestant. Now, Alkebulans is Protestant people. Come on, people. In 1803, remember when this nigga came, okay? The commandments is only 136 years old in Alkebulan, okay? Okay? It says the Dutch... My bad, guys. It says the Dutch authorities granted religious freedom to all inhabitants and the prospective migrants when the British invaded and occupied the colony in 1805. So in 1805 was the beginning and the starting of the name changings and English words found in the Bible being put in Alkebulan speaking land called Africa. Okay, let us continue. The British colonial era. Jewish did not arrive in significant numbers at Cape Town before 1820. Again, before 1820, we didn't know nothing about laws, commandments, nothing. You can go ahead and listen to whatever you want to listen to. You want to believe that? That's on you. I'm just going to tell you the facts. We wasn't believing in none of that. If you look at I forgot what they call those people. They the oldest tribes in South Africa. They ain't wearing no fringes, no borders of blue. They don't know no commandments. In fact, when they couldn't make the fire, they decided to summon and call on the god of fire, the fire gods. Wow, what is African people doing with polytheistic studies and understandings? I thought we was mono. I thought we was mono. They don't smoke, they don't drink, they don't do nothing. And they look as young, clean, beautiful. They have absolutely no connection to the world. According to your Biblos, it says, love not the things of this world. They don't. They don't follow none of that. And they're young, vibrant, looking beautiful. You should see the elders. The elders is in their 70s, and these niggas look 45. What are they doing? Ask yourself this question. Let's go, people. Don't listen to me, man. Stop listening to me. Stop listening to weirdos that don't be around the people. You got to be in the mix of the people. You got to speak to the people. You got to speak to the people. You can't speak to the people that's just like us. We're not going to know nothing if we're speaking to people like us. If I'm speaking to like-minded individuals, how I'm going to learn about things I don't know about, right? If I'm learning how to box and I've been boxing the same person for the last 30 years, what improvement, what better am I going to be? In order for me to be better, I have to speak to world champions in boxing. I got to speak to individuals who's doing something in boxing, who achieve over and beyond in boxing. These are the people that you want to speak to elevate yourself. And this is what I've been trying to tell you guys when it pertaining to this so-called religion. It's like, fam, the Biblos is not the end all be all. I knew that from the minute I was, seeking these facts. I knew the Biblos was not the end all be all. Even inside these churches, they tell you that. Oh, there's a lot of writings that was removed. You got to get the Apocrypha so you can get the complete Bible. You got to get the book of Enoch so you can get the complete story. You got to get the book of Jubilee so you can get the complete calendar. You got to get something about something for something to get the complete story. But the problem is, fam, it was never completed. It was a rush work compiled together so these people can get the ball rolling so they can be in the positions that they are in now. Okay? Said Jews did not arise significant numbers at Cape Town before 1820. The first congregation in South Africa, the Garden Shul, was founded in Cape Town in September 1841. The first service held on the eve of Yom Kippur, Day of Atonement. Okay? At the home of the Benjamin Norden on the corner of the Welvarian Hof Street. Benjamin Norman, Simeon Marcus, together with a score of others, arrived in the early. So they already was coming into the land with the names. They was in your land with the names. Okay? 1820s and 1930s were commercial pioneers, especially the Mosanento brothers, Julius and Adolf and James, were established a major wool industry by bringing in 30 Angora goats from Asia. In 1856, they became the founders of the Montclair, the Montclair industry. Aaron and Daniels, Aaron and Daniels, these are biblical names, right? The Pass were the first to open up the Mozambique, the Nokampika land region in Namibia in South Africa, extended along with, look at this, from 1849 to 1886, they were the largest ship owners in Cape Town and leaders of steel, whaling, and fishing industries. Jews were among the first to take the ostrich farming and played a role in the early diamond industry. Jews also played some parts in the early South African politics. Captain Joshua Nordine was shot at the head of his mountain burgerists in the Isikoso War in 1845. And we're going to talk about the Isikoso War too. Maybe I should do that next week. The Isikoso War. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that next week. Next week. We're gonna talk about the Isikoso War, because since nobody wants to tell the truth for where the Biblos come from and how it was since nobody wants to, then we're just gonna keep exposing it, keep talking about it until we can't talk about it no more, right? The Lieutenant Elias D. Prize fought in the Eastern Coast War in 1849. Julius Mosteno, 1818 and 1880, brother of the, this is the brother, this is another Khazar, was a member of the Cape Ptolemyo in the 1850s. Simeon Jacob, Jacob Akobi, who was a judge in the Supreme Court of the Cape of Good and Hope. These people came into your land. You guys, I hope you guys, when you reading it, you reading it with a grain of salt and you paying attention to what they was doing. These people came, the more you read, the more you see that they came and they came to conquer. Now, the question that you gotta ask is, how did they get such power in such little bit of time? I'll tell you how. They had you calling on their Jesus. You see, the ancestors don't play. The creators don't play. They don't play. True word. You see my phone going off? True word. They don't play. So when you call on their deities, the ancestors is going to allow their deities to do whatever they want to you. And you're seeing what's happening. I got a brand new show coming out called The Hot Seat, where on this show we're going to be talking a whole lot of sugar honey iced tea. Okay? But on this hot seat, we're going to expose shit like this where you guys can see how individuals just come in the land and out of nowhere come a supreme judge. How did the Europeans come into a black land and become a supreme judge? Who's allowing them to get into those positions? Who's creating it? Who's giving them strength? It's you, Al-Kebulan. Is you, Al-Kebulan. I'm not calling you a Bantu. You know why I'm not calling you a Bantu? Because the word Bantu come from a French nigga. Forgot his name. He called you niggas Bantu. Not calling you that. I'm going to call you what you are. It's either you a Al-Kebulan survivor or you a Al-Kebulan kidnap. I'm on the side of the kidnaps. And that's a big fact. But I ain't going to read no more, guys. I just wanted you guys to get some barbecue chicken. I know I was here way too long. About to go outside. It's about to get, the wind is blowing a little bit, but I gotta go outside, people. I gotta go outside. I'm sorry. It's just too beautiful. Too beautiful. I have to go outside, you know what I'm saying? I know you guys probably looking at like, damn, June, what happened? So it seem like you losing your gains. Nah, I've been cleansing my body, detoxifying, eating less, you know what I'm saying? Starting my mornings, taking breaking my so-called fast with smoothies, and I'm taking my sour sap, and then I'm eating my sea moss, you know what I'm saying? So you see you see the clarity and all that, you know what I'm saying? So it's gonna seem like, damn, Junes is I'm just cleansing it, you know what I'm saying? I had a lot of bad stuff in my body, you know what I'm saying? Like when I was cleansing, man, listen, man, my number twos was also coming with blood, you heard? Because it was just all that had to come out. And now that it is out, you know what I'm saying? I feel lit, I feel live, I feel awoken, I feel ready for war. And we're gonna continue working. But with that being said, people, continue supporting, like, comment, share, subscribe. For those that don't know who I am Hemp Junes, the MBIC. And I represent the ROD. Want to give a shout out to you guys. And again, continue supporting. If it's your first time, hope it's not your last time, but your second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth time. That means I'm still on your mind. That means we still on that grind. And it's about that time. Time for what? Time for you guys to go get yours. Because I'm on that journey to go get mine. For those that don't know, I am him. And I'm a holla. One love.